It's been almost 3 years now since I last showed you my investment portfolio. Not last month, not last year's, about 1000 days. And today I'm finally revealing it. In today's video, I'm going to show you over the last 3 years how much I have invested, how much my portfolio has grown, and how much passive income I have generated. No theory, no assumptions, just real numbers. My real portfolio. And honestly, some of the results also surprised me. So, if you ever wonder how a real ETF portfolio looks like after the years of investing, let's open it then. Alright, guys, let's get started. Finally, my portfolio, revealing my portfolio after 3 years. Pretty excited though. Alright, so there's a lot of information on the portfolio, but I just try my best to make it, simpler, easier for you. So let me walk you through first my portfolio. Then I'm gonna be also sharing you how to download this tracker and how you can utilize for yourself. Alright, let's see the last 3 year progress. So first of all, here on this corner, we're gonna be looking into the portfolio summary though. So in the portfolio summary, the first one is the net invested. How much money so far I have invested in last 3 years, and what is the current value of my portfolio today. And then last one is the total profit. How much money I have made so far in last 3 years, which is about $15,000. The net invested is 59,000 and 72,000 is the current value. This is the portfolio summary. The next one is profits breakdown. So what I have done though, this total profit, I just break down into the multiple categories, like how I made this money. Okay. The number one is I have withdrawn about $2,000. Okay. The dividend income is about $7,800. And then market growth is about $5,100. So this is the again the profit breakdown of this value over here. The next one is one of my favorite tab is the performance of my portfolio. So before I started though, see my target of my portfolio every year I want to make 10%. That's my target though. And I'm going to show you later how I calculated this 10% yield, 3% yield. And I do in a very rare way, very pure, that you're gonna find this number very genuine though. Like sometimes I see YouTuber, they calculated the performance portfolio, which is, very confusing. Mine is very straightforward. I'm going to show you in the later that. So what is portfolio performance that say my portfolio is making about 14%, 0.58 though. And then this is my target, 10% target. So for 10%, I need about $10,000. But as you can see, I'm making $15,000, which is equivalent to almost 14% and half. One of the interesting figure I shared here though, like what if I have invested this amount in a GIC or a high interest saving account, I would have only made about $3,000 though. If I would have invested in the stock market, just kept my money, into GIC or something, I could have not made, $12,000. And then lastly, passive income. Again, who really don't want to see your passive income, right? So this is my projection though. Like right now, the projection of my monthly income is $336. So from here, all the ETF, if you do like this, I'm gonna be making $336. That's the projection of the next month. That's the active passive income, how much I'm making right now. And this is the projection of my yearly income. It's about $4,000. And this is the yield, like this monthly income, what is my yield looks like, So this is about 7%. All right. So again, this was the great, the four great tabs of the overview of my portfolio summary, how much I've invested, what is the current value, the total profit. And then I break down this total profit into three different categories: dividends, the growth, and the withdrawal. And the performance, what is my portfolio is doing, how much I'm making though, right? What was my target? And then how much I would have made the same money in the GIC. Passive income, what is my current monthly income and yearly income, and what is the yield. Again, these are the guys very important 4 types. I look into this like sometime every day or every week. The next one is very interesting though. Like I want to show you very high level overview of what ETFs I have, what ETFs I'm invested in, how much money currently sitting in there, what is the yield, how much yield I'm getting from the monthly income, and how much is the monthly actual dollar income though I'm getting from the each ETF. And this is the return. So like what is the return of my ETFs right now? So first thing I want to cover though, like probably you're gonna see this number and you're gonna like, oh, why is 4 ETFs are doing so good and rest like it are in yellow and one is in red? Because see, these ETF, when I started my investing journey, like 3 years ago, I was just investing into simple the VFV, VDY, and QQC. This is the like one of the oil ETF though, or related to oil. That's why, as the current environment we are in, the oil price is hiking though, so the stock value also go higher. And then yeah, so the in 2026 I started the investing of my income focus. I want to invest more in the covered call. I want to get my yield up, monthly income up. So I thought though there's enough amount of money has been invested in the growth ETFs. So let me start focusing on the covered call ETFs. So again, all the ETFs I have, how much I'm invested, yield, monthly income, return. Okay, this is not a total return though. This is just like what is my book value versus the current stock value based on that. The next one is very interesting though, the portfolio bucket, right? Like all these ETFs are you see here. What are these ETFs though? I want to give very high level. I don't want to get into specific though. So for example, the number one is core US. What is usually core US? S&P 500, the top 500 company in the United States though. So you'll see VFV, USCL, HYLD, like these all three ETFs, kind of does the similar job though. The next one is the growth ETFs. These are more like tech ETF, technology, all the great companies, ZWT, QQCL, HHIS, and QQC. So this is all the tech companies. The defensive, all the Canadian companies, like all the banks and energy companies. So VDY, HDIV, Bank, and NCL. The fourth one is cash. So, you always need some backup in your portfolio, if you have some discount in the market. So this is like a safe ETF, which the stock price will never drop. It will always give you something about 2% of yield. Then the last one is Bitcoin. Again, this is one of my bucket. I play around. I don't understand much about Bitcoin. What is the future? What was the past history? I just know I want to get my foot in the Bitcoin. So that's pretty much. That's why. And one of the thing you will see here, these are my targets. So this is what I want my targets, of the each bucket. And this is where I'm right now. The targets are doing pretty good in the portfolio bucket. So this is how my all the ETFs are divided. Now, this is one of my favorite tab though, ETF strategy. Like what is my strategy, right? Like in Canada, we have some investor which like to invest only on the growth oriented ETFs though, like VFV, QQC, stuff like that. Like they don't want any monthly incomes. They only want, like gains and everything. So remember, the goal of the channel is fire path. You need your monthly income so you can retire early. That's what the growth oriented, VFP, all these ETFs. The next one, this is where I started investing this year though, right? Because you'll see all the red here because this year market hasn't been great. So these are all the income focused ETFs. And then obviously if you go to the Blossom map, like these are mostly popular one, I haven't picked anything, which is controversial or, like stuff like that. So all are very popular ETFs. And then obviously the last one is the dividend, like VDY, ZMMK. And like even the start of the year, like this was like 80% of my, the current weightage though. Targets were also 80%, but as you can see, this is my new category. So Right now, what I want to do, my income and growth, I'm like a more like a hybrid investor. So I want to keep 40 and 40 and then 20 maybe dividend stock though. So obviously there's a long journey to go as I'm going to be investing more in the income focus. My monthly income going to go up because covered calls ETF, the income focus ETF strategies, tickers give you more income though. So again though, if I just look for now, this is just a great portfolio overview. We have the main 4 tabs. This gave me like an overview of what my each ETF does, my portfolio buckets, my targets, my ETF strategy though. I usually log into this portfolio tracker a lot, like daily or weekly, and then sometimes I'm excited to see the numbers. Obviously not on the weekend because the stock market is closed on the weekend, so on the weekday, especially by the end of the day. All right, now before we get into deeper, again, this is my second favorite passive income. Remember in the start of the video, I told you I'm gonna show you my last 3 years of history though. So as you can see, I started investing in 2023 about Feb, and I remember when I received my first $8 as a monthly income, I was like really happy. I was like, wow, I'm making money while I'm sleeping. So like that's changed the whole idea though, completely changed my life. So as you can see, since that month and till today, I've been very consistent. I was continue to invest, and right now, the latest monthly income I got in the March was $340. So just think of that though. This is like one person just working for me. I'm getting a $340 paycheck every month though. Why not working, just sleeping? This is the free money I make while sleeping. Obviously, I'm invested in the companies, but how great this is though. And one of the quotation, one of the quote changed my life. You don't get rich by, working more or, or getting higher payroll, like getting bigger jobs. You're gonna be wealthy, you're gonna be rich if you make money while sleeping. Obviously, there's one way of doing, you can open your business, but how tough is that? Or you can invest in other people's business and start making those monthly income though. So the total dividend money I have made so far of about $7,800. Like this is huge, guys. Like this is again my one of these very favorite passive income tabs. Sometimes I just sit there and watching this number growing. It's just amazing feeling, guys. So this has been a great progress in 3 years. And then obviously the overview as well is one of the again best, especially the numbers I put in the green. I love to see how much my total profit and how my portfolio is doing. All right, now we are moving to the second part of the video, which is like obviously a lot of people gonna ask me, I need this portfolio tracker. I need to track my investment as well. So the good news is that this template is completely free. And here are the instructions though, right? In order to get this template, all you have to do, comment template in this video. And then, go to my Instagram ID, which is mentioned in the description, send me a message, and then I'm going to send you link. You can download this Excel file and then start tracking your own portfolio. Very simple though, no tricks, nothing like that. All you have to do, just comment on this video template though. So I see these templates are working. I'm gonna continue to create these new, trackers, Excel templates, and I'm going to continue improving those though. So all you have to do, because see on the YouTube, I cannot send you a like a Excel link or a downloaded link because they're not messages. So that's why you have to go to my Instagram ID. Just send me a message there, and then I'm going to send you a link right away, and it's mentioned in the description. Okay, so these are the instruction how to get this portfolio tracker. Okay, how to get this template. All right, now one of the interesting part of the video, I will call this as a third stage, like how this template is working, right? Like for example, if you're going to download this template right now, what are the changes you have to make? This is my portfolio, but obviously you need to import your data, right? So let's look into that. How difficult or easy is that? So first of all, let me start from this tab. In this tab, the good news is that you do not have to make much changes. All you have to do, there's only one cell that you need to change. How much money you have withdrawn in the past though. Not total money withdrawn though, how much total profit. How much total profit. Like for example, if you have invested $10,000 in the past and then you withdrawn 11,000, that's like $1,000 profit, right? So then you're gonna enter 1,000 here. For example, if I enter like a 0 here, as you can see, the number is automatically updating. And then I can add here 1,000, or I'm gonna go back to my original value, which was $2,000.50. There you go. So that's the only change you have to make. And then passive income, no changes required here. This is everything is automatic. Okay. And all you have to do, once you're going to input your data, if you go to this data tab, all you have to do is just refresh all. This is all you have to do once you import your data, which I'm going to show you. So portfolio overview, all good. Only one tab, passive income, no changes. Everything is automated. Now here's come the interesting part though. So this is, this is like a raw data. This is where every month, I check my Wealthsimple or Questrade and I see how much dividend I made and then how much contribution I did. This is all you have to do. Oh, one of the interesting thing I forget though, just to make your life easy, what I have done, if you need to enter any data into any cell, I have changed that the background color to sky blue. So whenever you see a sky blue color, that's mean you need to enter the data there only. If you see any other color, everything is automated, no changes are required. And same goes to the data one, like only these two columns you need to enter your information, right? Otherwise, everything is automatic here. So you can see from 2023 to Feb, and all the way if you go down to 2026 April, I've been consistently tracking how much dividend income I'm been getting and how much contribution I have done. And then if you haven't been tracking though, if you want to track your past performance, you can just go to any app and see how much monthly income you made and how much contribution you have done. That's all pretty much though. One of the interesting thing I want to show you, right? I told you, I calculated my portfolio in a certain way that you're gonna get the exact amount that how much you're making. So for example, over here you see 3 tabs. One is total contribution. What it does though, it's keep adding your contribution from every month. So like for example, 1,000 in Feb, in the March, 1,000 plus 6,000, right? It's keep gonna doing the add up. So that's that tab. And then what I've done here, 10% means this is my target. So for example, in the Feb month, I need to make $8 to justify my targets. And what about the GIC though? If I have invested the same amount of money in the GIC, what was my target though? And then everything is automatically adding. And as you can see, the pricing is keep increasing though. And in the end, this is how I get my number. So far my target is $10,000, 300 in order to justify my portfolio. That was my target. And 3,000 was the GIC. And this is how exactly I got the numbers here. No tricks, guys. Nothing is manually. Everything is automated. So that's why I told you, like, this way is the right way of doing it. Sometimes I see YouTuber, they do some plus and minus though. They confuse me a lot. This is the best thing I found, the simplest way of doing it. Now, one of the thing, I want to just share some information here. What happened though when you're gonna reach out to the next month? I don't want you to break this table or Excel sheet. So let's say I need to enter my information for the month of May, right? What I'm gonna do? Do you see this over here? This sign. All you're gonna do, you're gonna hover over and you're gonna see this sign, and then you're gonna drag. Gonna drag 1 or 2, however you want, and there you go. Everything is automatic. And then this one you can drag and drop like that, and then you can change the date. This is the only manual entry you have to make. Change it to May, and then enter your data, how much dividend you made, right? How much contribution was done. Everything will be automatic now. So this is all you have to do under the data number 1. enter how much dividend you made, how much contribution you did. That's pretty much. I'm gonna get rid of the May, as the May month is not there. So one of the thing why my April month is 0, because I haven't received the dividend yet. So I'm waiting for my monthly dividends. Okay. Usually we receive on the 9th of every month, 10th. So that's why 0. Obviously, I'm in the next monthly portfolio avail. You're gonna see this income here. So now the data number 2. This is all the crazy stuff is happening. This is where I'm getting my ETF returns, portfolio bucket, how much profit I made, stuff like that. And then same thing I did here. Anything is you see sky blue color, that's mean your input is required. Anything you see white or anything, do not play around with those cells. You do not have to make any changes. So these are my tickers, right? These are the my ETFs. What if you have your own ETF, right? Like you wanna change those, correct? So how to enter a new ETF into this one? You're gonna do the same thing. You're gonna go to the end of the table and you're gonna drag and drop like this. And then obviously you're gonna see errors and all that. Don't worry about that. Just come to this tab and then type your ETF ticker. Like for example, one of the ticker is ZSP BMO S&P 500. And there you go. As you can see, I have applied so many automated formulas. So the ticker has been already filled and the stock price is live. This is a live data, guys. And then obviously some of the manual things you have to do, like this is a growth US. You can have your own portfolio bucket like categories. This is my right, and this is obviously growth focused and what are my targets, stuff like that. Like these three are completely optional though if you want to see these two tables updating, right? And then obviously you need to enter your book price. So when you're gonna buy an ETF or you're gonna be buy multiple ETF, your book price is gonna be keep changing. So you need to enter that. Like for example, I'm just entering here as 90. And then you need to enter the number of shares, like how many number of shares you got. Like you can enter here 20 or whatever the number of shares you have. We're down to two things. All you have to do, you have to enter the distribution frequency and the distribution per share. And this information you can find on their website of BMO, or whichever the ETF you buy, you're gonna find that information on their website. So I know BMO ETFs usually pay monthly distribution, sorry, quarterly. Like they pay quarter. Quarter means 4. This means monthly. And then I'm just gonna put a guessing number. I know they pay very similar, so 0.15 or something like that. Perfect. And this is all done though. This is all you have to do. So raw data 1, dividends and contribution you have to enter. And over here, most of the things are automated. You just have to enter only like book value and share. These are the most two important one. And then obviously distribution, frequency and per share. One of the another thing I want to show you before I'm wrap up the video. Sometime when you type ETFs, because multiple ETFs or multiple ticker have a similar naming, so you can get a like wrong ETF. For example, HDIV though from Harvest, right? HDIF. There you go. It automatically sometimes it doesn't give you the right ETF. You can just type the incorrect name here, like just type multiple Fs. You'll see this question mark, and then you will get this window. Then you can type a correct ticker of your ETF, and then it will give you the right one. Oh, there's the extra F, and there you go. Like right, there are multiple version of. You have to select your right version. I know the Harvest one is on the Toronto Exchange, so I'm gonna select that. So that was the data number 2, data number 1, passive income. Back to portfolio overview though. And then as I said, type in the comment section, type template, do a comment, reach out to me on the Instagram. I'm going to give you a link. All you have to do, download the link, download the Excel file, import your data, copy paste your data over here, change this stuff, everything will be ready to go though. And I can tell you only one thing though, this portfolio tracker gonna be keep improving and improving. This is just a version 1 though. I have so many great ideas, but I wanna keep it simple. That's my one of the goal. I don't wanna keep more complicated. I'm gonna try my best moving forward. The more automation I can do better, or let me know in the comment section though if you if you really want to see that type of number, or if you're getting any error in the portfolio tracker, I can help you to fix those. Now, before we wrap up our video, there's a very something important I want to tell you. This is not a financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor. Okay. This is my personal portfolio with my personal strategy. Always do your own research and study before investing. But here, the most exciting part of the video though. This video is not one-time video. This video is going to be reoccurring. Every month, I'm going to unveil my portfolio. So you can track the progress with me. I'm going to update my portfolio every single month, and then I'm going to reveal in front of you. So you can track the progress with me, see the income grow, and watch how this portfolio evolves over the time. Because building a passive income is not about one day or 1 month journey though. You have to keep consistent. You have seen from this video, I was consistent for last 3 years, and then I'm starting to see the results. Now imagine after next 3 years, this portfolio even gonna go huge. And now you can follow my entire journey on those YouTube channel. So if you want to see how this portfolio grows, if you want every time an updated portfolio tracker, like this video and subscribe to this channel. Alright guys, I'm going to see you in the next video. Till the time, bye now.